In this video, we'll be talking about how you can create quizzes on your website using the SNO Quizzes plugin. And that plugin is going to be available on any client site that subscribes to our SNO Site Booster add-on. So if you do have that add-on, this video is for you. Let's get started by looking at how you can create a new quiz on your website. Once you're logged into the site, go ahead and go to the back end of the site. And then along the left navigation menu, you want to click on this tab that says SNO Quizzes. Once you click on that, there are going to be 3 drop-down options to visit in the future. The first one is All Quizzes. This will show you quizzes that you've already created in the past. Add New Quiz, we're going to go to in just a second. And then Quiz Analytics is a tab you can return to once a quiz has been published to see some of the analytic data related to it. So let's add a new quiz. I'm just clicking Add New Quiz, and the very first thing you're asked to enter is a title. So for my quiz, I'm just going to do, which season are you? And when we're thinking of quizzes, we're basically thinking of a series of questions that are correlated to different potential outcomes. So for example, with which season are you, my outcomes, so the basically end results and outcomes, are fall, winter, spring, and summer. One cool feature of the SNO Quizzes plugin is that for each outcome and answer that we're going to add in just a second that you add to your quiz, you can also attach different images to it just by clicking this little camera icon next to each outcome or answer, and then selecting the appropriate image from your website's media library. I'm going to skip that for now, but that is an option. So now that I've created my quiz title and I've added all of the potential outcomes that someone might receive upon finishing the quiz, now I'm going to start adding my actual questions just by continuing to scroll down on this page and filling in all of my answers and questions within the quiz editor here. So maybe my first question is, which is the best activity? And then I can give different answers that might correspond to those different seasons for this example. So maybe 1 is skiing. And you'll see for each answer that you add, you can give it a different weight. So it basically sways the outcome more or less. And then you can choose which overall outcome it's related to. So for example, here, skiing would relate to winter. Maybe I have apple picking for fall. Let's do gardening for spring. And then let's do tanning for summer. Again, you could add images here if you like. I'm going to add one more question. Maybe I'll do, what food is the best? And again, I'm going to give 4 answers that have different relations to different seasons. All right, so you could continue to add as many questions as you like. I'm going to stick with 2 for now. Another area to pay attention to within this quiz interface is this column on the right. This is where you can set some quiz options, including the end date and end time. And you can also add a featured image for your quiz if you like. I do happen to have one here that I'm going to grab. Now that I've finished inputting all of these answers, outcomes, and images, I'm going to go ahead and click Publish. All right, so now my quiz is created, but by default, right away when you create a quiz, it's not immediately going to show up anywhere on the site. So now we have to actually add it to somewhere that someone is going to see it. There are 2 main options for where you can add quizzes. The first is into a story. If you want to do that, you can go to your Stories tab along the left here and either create a new story or select a story that already exists on your site, which is what I'm doing here. Once you are in and editing the story, You want to start by placing your cursor into the article where you want that quiz to go. And then what I like to do is just add a blank line to give it some space to take up. After that, go ahead and click Add SNO Story Element, and along the left here, you're going to see all of the elements that are available to you. You want to make sure you click SNO Quiz at the very bottom. Once you do that, it's going to ask you to select which quiz you want to display, and you can play around with some of the design options on the right. But go ahead and click Insert once you're done. And we're not going to see the quiz right away here. Instead, we're seeing the short code that is going to be used to display it to live visitors on your website. But if we go ahead and update my story and go view it on the front end of the site, we'll see what that quiz looks like live. So initially I've got my question, my featured image. I can click Start. And then once someone completes the quiz, they are given a result, which again was one of those outcomes that we added before. So that's how you can add a quiz within a story on your site. The other place that you might want to add a quiz on your website is somewhere on your homepage. So to do that, we need to go to the Widget Control Panel, which you can access by going to SNO Dashboard, Widget Control Panel. The first thing to do once you get to this page is select which widget area you want to drop that new quiz into, and all of your widget areas are going to show up on the right. So for me, I'm going to use Home Top Right. Once you've decided the widget area that you're going to use, then you want to look on the left and find the SNO Quiz widget, and just click on it and drag it into where you want it to go. Immediately when you drop that widget into the widget area, it's going to open up and ask you to customize which quiz you are showing and then some of the related display and appearance options. So I've got my Which Season Are You quiz selected here. I'm going to leave all of these settings as is, but you can get pretty specific in terms of the display options. And then just make sure to click Done in the top right corner. So now if we return to my home page and look at my Home Top Right widget area, which for me is right here in the top right corner, you can see that embedded quiz is going to show up. So if you do subscribe to the SNO Site Booster package, definitely check out this quiz feature. It's new. It's a great way to get to create some interactivity on your website. And as always, if you have questions as you're creating quizzes on your site, feel free to reach out to SNO Support.